Yes, indeed. Wow, what is the deal? Welcome to the No Pick Show, where we deal with facts, not emotion. I'm your host, Shannon Chad. I got my dog, Just A. Davis, in the building. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm cooling, dog. I'm cooling. It's the afternoon time. You heard me. I didn't have me a couple drinks, you dig, just coming from lunch.
Ooh.
Feeling pretty good today.
Man, I'm about to crack me a brew open right now. I'm about to crack
That's what I'm talking about.
Crack me a nice brewski open. Look, I'm still sick as a dog. If you're just joining, everybody, please make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification as well. Try to have my energy right today, because last time, boy, I was down bad. But we in here.
Listen, appreciate you for being able to get through that show. That show felt necessary too at the time.
Yeah.
Needed to get that one out for sure.
And if you remember, you saw some of the other conversations that went on like immediately afterwards as it pertains to Jaylen Brown. But you never know. I still think some things are possibilities. Shout out to my dog Michael Morgan, always showing love. Yo, Mike, I got a gift for you, bro. I need you to DM me, homie. I got a gift for you. DM me on Twitter, big dog. Paper boy, what's the deal? Greg, what's happening? Jaden, what up? Terry say, I saw Queen at the game last night. Yeah, I saw Derik Queen at the finals last night. So speaking of the NBA finals,
yes.
What do you make of the De'Aaron Fox struggles this postseason?
So initially, I want to give him a little bit of grace because he has been injured, right? So that's the underlying of him being injured. Also, though, I'm not overly surprised because De'Aaron is one of those, and I hope this don't sound terrible to say, but De'Aaron I look at is like Julius Randle to a degree.
Right? I know exactly what you're saying.
Like,
I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, you a great regular season player, and not just even saying that you're not a good playoff player, right? But your talent to a degree, I don't want to put a cap on how good a guy can be, so I ain't saying that, but like it's around like second round level. It's like you start seeing them as the games get better, they start coming back to earth a little bit. The only thing is they got more players on the Spurs team that look like they conference finals and finals level players, but you just kind of got to sort it out, right? So you just see, I think right now, aside from the injury, and I do want to give him a little bit of grace because of that, I think you see the sorting of just this is what happens as you go levels up.
I think also, and who knows, this is just game one, but me and you talk, I do think the Knicks match up pretty perfectly against the Spurs, and the Knicks, and the Spurs don't have the health advantage that they've had in several series up to this point. But I think it gets to a level where they've had the health advantage in like every series. When you got a roster that deep, like you could really do a lot of things. You could throw a lot of different looks, and Champagne has been incredible. But I think you get to the point where the physicality just becomes a little overwhelming for like non-physical players. And it just throws you off. Like, then you talk about decision making, you talk about a number of things. And also, this is something that kind of like when people who had issues with Jordan Poole coming from the Wizards, not necessarily the Jordan Poole that was with the Warriors. I think people tend to question players who excel on bad teams because it's like, well, the ball's always in your hand. You're getting the lion's share of the looks. You're the offensive engine. Of course, you look like that as the number one on a bad team. Like when Rich Paul mentioned, like to De'Aaron Fox, it's like, yeah, would you mind being the number two to Wemby? And it's like,
no.
Firstly, I'm not trying to disrespect Wemby mind, but to me, Wemby's not an offensive number one. I think Wemby's still a little green offensively, but defense is unquestionable. But I think Wemby's a little green offensively. So with De'Aaron, it's kind of like the question probably should have been, do you mind being a number three until they find a number one? And I don't even know how you go about finding a number one with De'Aaron's contract, because De'Aaron got a terrible contract, bro. Like people talk about Jaylen Brown's contract. De'Aaron got a Awful contract.
He got like 50 minimum for like the next 5, if I'm not mistaken. And at some point, I know like them last couple years, they get to like 62 or some shit like that.
And De'Aaron's already 30, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going, yeah.
Jesus, I know he came in with Lonzo. So think about how long ago that was.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. He was number 5 in that draft when Lonzo was 2. So like,
I don't want to put no bad low out. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure De'Aaron's 30. So it's like I'm locked in for like another 4 or 5 years. Do you think is that the point where they would have to pay someone to take on that contract? No, he's 29. He's 29. So
that's damn near 30.
Yeah, that's
damn near 30.
Yeah, but do you think they're getting to a point this past offseason where that contract has positive value?
No, I don't.
This is like 2 years in a row we've barely seen De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I don't know if I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if it has positive value.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's technically slipped to the point of negative just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But you at like teetering. You know what's making it is even more so making it negative. How good Dylan Harper is. Like the better Dylan Harper plays, the more people gonna look at it and be like, well, at some point you gotta move him. You're not bringing him off the bench.
And Castle's
why would I just take him? So at that point, that's where you're gonna really find yourself in a bind, I think.
One thing I'll say, like with De'Aaron Fox, when I say we haven't seen him, because of course he's been playing games, he's durable, but it's like we haven't seen the real De'Aaron Fox, like that guy who was like clutch player of the year. Like we haven't seen that guy in a little while now, and that's one of the things I get nervous about with certain guys. Is like, was that a flash in the pan? Was that lightning in a bottle, and everything just went right at that point? But I don't know. It's interesting. I want to ask you this. I'm sorry. Do you think De'Aaron Fox or Emmanuel Quickly have more like the same value right now?
Contractual. I think De'Aaron got because of the.
Me too. I think De'Aaron got more.
I think De'Aaron got more value than Quickly right now.
Yeah.
The thing with De'Aaron is when you go to a team like the Spurs, and it's not just about him being like the 2 offensively, it's like the way that the Spurs run their offense. Like Castle has the ball a lot, and then Wemby got the freedom to do whatever he wants, and then it's like space, and it's similar to how like they don't play exactly how the old Spurs used to play, but the Sacramento
is in the DNA.
The Sacramento De'Aaron Fox, you're not gonna really see that guy get to do too much of that because he got that bitch on a break. He was keeping it on the break. He
took a terrible 3 yesterday. Like it was just a terrible 3 from the left wing, and I was like, "Son, do you practice that shot? What kind? Like what? I don't know, bro." So
listen, he used to have how. You know what it reminds me of? If you look at, and this I know we weren't talking about the Knicks necessarily, but like to the Knicks credit, the big shift that they made was they started playing through Karl Anthony Towns, right? And when they started putting Brunson off the ball and like everybody touching the ball, their offense just pretty much exploded.
With a bunch of shooters.
Like De'Aaron, like the Spurs have success with that, but like De'Aaron is normally how they used to use Brunson, like just a bunch of ISOs, a bunch of like you don't really see that. So I just don't know if the De'Aaron that we're seeing now, while injured, you know what I'm saying, is gonna be able to be able to tap into whatever it was that he was. And again, I don't know also if De'Aaron is that level, but like he ain't Brunson.
Nah, he ain't like, a Brunson level guy. I think he's at least Randall's, like you mentioned before. I think he's a
Randall level guy.
I think he's an all NBA third team guy. Like he could potentially top out, at all level third team. So I say that to ask you, would you trade Dejounte in salary for the De'Aaron Fox contract today? If possible, if they can, you say, look, man, we trying to move off him. We want Dejounte back. I'm sure he wants to be back on the Pop. like, would you I about to say something. I about to say no, but I'm sure he wants back with Pop. But look at this contract, boy. Is y'all doing? What you doing? You trade
49, 53, 57, 60. I can't, though. I can't.
My dog say he doing it. I ain't gonna lie.
Boy, y'all wild. Y'all wild as fuck. First off, this is
I can't.
Also, not only the numbers, scratch the numbers portion of it. Though.
Okay.
I'm not trying to have nobody. And listen, I love, the idea of getting another point guard, right? But I can't have nobody in front of Fears that long at that number. Like, even when we talk about Ja, right? Like we talk about trading for Ja.
And you gotta
I bet go ahead.
To be clearly the superior player, in my opinion. Like for me to really go ahead and go with that move, I ain't gonna lie. Like I just wouldn't do it.
No, I think it's. Am I cutting out?
That might be me. Hold up, that might be me. I'm gonna leave and come back.
All right, I hold on for a second. My I don't know if that big on still.
Good.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I personally can't do it because, like, even when we talk about, whoa, what's up, Q? When we talk about like adding Ja got like 40 mil, and it's only for 2 years at the end of the day. So like at worst, you got somebody. Whoa,
I'm back. You can hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I get when I tried to share the screen, it started acting weird, but we good.
Yeah. I was basically saying like the main reason I don't think so I could do it is because, like, for example, in comparison of Fox to let's say Ja, right? The Ja deal is for 40 mil for 2 more years.
Yeah.
Like I could have, even if you keep Ja for those 2 years, right? One, Ja had been a higher ceiling player than De'Aaron. That's first.
Coach. Yes.
Like at De'Aaron's best, he's never been as good as Ja's best. That's first. He's cheaper. Second. Also, he only got 2 years. So if Fears start to peak, I only gotta wait like 2 years to move. Like, no, De'Aaron in 3 years is gonna be at 50-something mil or 60 mil. 33 years old, like
it's 61 million at
what on 32. Your bench,
and that's an estimate.
On your bench though, possibly. I'm not saying you're gonna bench him, but like,
by that time, Fears should be like your de facto starter. I would imagine at that point.
Fears would be like 21, 22 at that point. Like,
he might be 23, right? I think he's 20 now. So he might be like 23. So Fears going into his second contract, you can't really have that type of money on the books at point guard. So let me ask you something, because I was thinking about this. You mentioned before that you know how Fears and DQ they're going to be doing the NBA Finals commentary, which I think, which I think is just kind of like busy work. To be honest, I don't really see the point of it, but what the fuck ever. So they gonna be just doing that. It's peculiar that it's Fears and Derik. That I'm like, that's interesting because it's AJ, Caleb Wilson, if I'm not mistaken, Fears, Derik, and Con Knipple. Yeah, I'm like, this is just a really bizarre. Like to me, I would have just called Cam Boozer and Peterson and just had like the top 4 with. And honestly, I'd have called Cooper. It just had like the rookie of the year with the top 4 rookies. To me, that would have been a better idea, but they do what they do. So Do you think like
I think that's a Joe plug, first off, by the way.
Certainly could be, right?
I think that's Joe with the league office being like, my guys won't come to the finals. We got a spot for them, free tickets or whatever. Get them on that media side, that good side of the league, show them some love. I think that's a little bit of that.
I mean, I just want to see niggas in the gym. I ain't lying. I'm just. I
know fear. We know fear.
Yeah, we know fear in the gym. I'm just like, I just get tired of it. I just get tired of certain shit.
I'll say this. I like the idea of them going to a finals game and just being in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like when the Pelicans listen, I'm not a player, obviously, right? But being at playoff games be fucking lit, though. And I know as a player, when you have the opportunity to do something about it, and like literally the work you put in could get you to that level.
Yeah,
bro, it's got to be something just being there. And if you've been to a New Orleans playoff game, how electric that bitch be, though. When we go on little winning streaks, the smoothie king, the blender be popping. Not to mention if they ever gotten to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it for them.
Yeah. So and this is a great comment Dexter brought up, and I think for me, because I have a very I'm not gonna say low ceiling, but I feel like I have a very reasonable ceiling where I see both players getting to. Ultimately, that's my excitement just lessens, because I'm just like, all right, because I want to ask you, do you think Fears and or Queen have face of the franchise potential? And when I say face of the franchise, I mean very good players on a good team potential. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think Fears does for sure. I think Fears. See, last year was Fears rookie year, so you just kind of take it in a stride to a degree. Pause. That's a little crazy, but his end of the he did. I think he did the interview on the Road Tripping podcast, right? With Richard Jefferson and all of them.
Yeah.
And they asked him, what is he looking to work on most moving forward coming into year 2? This motherfucker said leadership. My leadership. So to me, I think his mindset is I'm trying to make this my team by this year and or next year. I think that he views himself, I'm starting, I'm closing games, I got the ball in my hand, decision kind of stuff. And it's not even to say that you get to that point right away, but if you work hard enough, and he got his natural gifts. I know you talk a lot about natural gifts, right? His speed, ball handling, the mindset, the physicality that he plays with naturally. He has some of the tools that you see from players that look and his professionalism. That dude about his business also.
Yeah. That's one dude you don't question his off-season effort, and
not at all.
We've heard him about him being in the gym pretty much since the end of the season.
Absolutely. So I think he's the kind of player you need those players that really could turn things around. He seems like the kind of guy that's I gave y'all the rookie year while I'm just trying to learn and figure it out. Year 2, I think you're gonna see him getting on other players this season when they're not doing their jobs. I think you start seeing a little bit of that, right?
Boy, y'all better do y'all fucking job.
I'm telling you,
I only say that because I'm like, if this second year guy really gotta be out here doing checks and balances around this bitch, how far are y'all falling off in y'all duties? One of the reasons I brought it up as it pertains to Fears in particular, because I was watching Sixers broadcast the other day, I'm sorry, not broadcast, podcast. And one of the gentlemen who writes for one of the Philadelphia newspapers, they asked him, do he believe Tyrese Maxey can be like the face of that franchise, or is he just a cool player? And I wasn't like super duper shocked about the answer, because that's how I feel about small guards, because I don't count the Knicks as like a Jalen Brunson team necessarily. I feel like the Knicks are like a sum of their parts team.
Some of the parts.
And Jalen Brunson is like the best player, but it's the sum of their parts. And he was like, nah, I don't think Tyrese Maxey could be the face of the franchise. I think he could just be a very cool player. But and in my mind, I'm like, Tyrese Maxey is incredible. But I do think it's something you deal with as a small guard, and there's just certain limitations that you just can't overcome.
I think for them, like for Philly specifically, I think the reason that they view it that way is because Embiid is still there. So you still have like the shadow of Joel Embiid. This was just recently his team. Like, let's say Joel Embiid was gone off the team, right? They immediately gonna say, oh, this Tyrese Maxey team. And then you get an opportunity to see what it could look like with Tyrese, and if he could be, all of that. But but it's just tough. Like, for example, Kobe wasn't even a small person, and as long as Shaq was there, it could never be Kobe Bryant's team. Like, he had to leave for them to actually even view it as Kobe's team, as great as Kobe was. So I think you got a little bit of that with like most small guards. The thing that Brunson has is Brunson got there first and started turning it around and was obviously incredible. Fuck, no, Embiid a MVP. Like, it's
I think what dude was saying more so was like, it's just hard having a small guard as your like de facto best player. And when you bring in VJ, it's like he's not much bigger than him. And when they looked at the matchup, like in the postseason, they're just like, well, damn, this is kind of difficult, even with Embiid on like one leg or what have you. And I think that kind of lends to Brad Stevens' point where it's like, yo, we need some toughness. Because he's like, these dudes not even like better than us. They just tougher. They got more dogs, more willpower right now, especially when Tatum went out. And Derek White just couldn't do shit in the postseason. Well, he just had a bad season overall. But that's just something I think about when I look at like team building and I like project outward. I'm like, I see Fears as a foundational piece, but I still think it gotta
be the best player.
I think he could be like I give you like Zion, for example. I think Zion could be your best player, but the days of him being like the guy on the franchise, I think that's kind of like gone. As far as you don't build to complement Zion, he could be the best player, but it don't necessarily advocate you building around him. Like, I don't even know a team I would build around Zion realistically, because I don't think right now he's an MV caliber guy. So, like, to me, Jalen Brunson can have an MV caliber year, and you can you can say that they surround him with huge wings and a huge front court, guys that could like make up for some of his deficiencies on defense, but you still not like building around him. Like, Brunson, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you build around Jokic, you build around Giannis, you build around these solar system type fucking players who just LeBron, you build around these huge perimeter players, in my opinion. And I think that's the question with Fears and Maxey and guys like that, to where they just like too small to build around.
I think part of it is more so than like building around somebody specifically. I think it's more so like, dog, you need size to win. Like,
absolutely, bro.
More so than building, let's say building around Fears or Brunson or whatever. Like, if Brunson or Fears or Maxey, Steph, if those players are gonna be one of my best players, because if they good enough, you gotta have them on the floor, regardless of whatever the scenario is. That just means the other players have to have size of some, like, you know what I mean? Like, we have, it's like built, like, for example, the big man moving forward. Like, if your 5-man isn't a certain size, like damn near 7 feet, or can stretch to a degree, or
the days of PJ Tucker starting at center.
Yeah, that shit dead. Like you can't, it won't be a thing. So, like, I think there's just, and that's kind of what I think Joe Dumars talks about as far, like, when they talk about the toughness to play at elite levels, championship levels. Yeah, like, there's a certain level of physicality and toughness that you just gonna have to have from everybody on the floor. Because even Brunson not a great defender by no means, right?
But he not like
Brunson ain't gonna just let you.
Yeah, Brunson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He not gonna just let you
like walk through him.
Yeah. Like, there's a certain level of physicality.
So that's how I see it with Fears.
Yeah, like Fears, Brunson, like guys who smaller guys, but they're stocky players. Luke Dort's like what, 6'2", 6'3". Looks like the smallest person on the court most of the time. He's a strong, stocky guy. Like, there's a lot of, like, even Peyton Pritchard, not a small human being. Like, you know what I'm saying? The stocky motherfucker. So I understand from that standpoint. I only say that because that Therese Maxey conversation really, like, interests, like, me. And even with Dame Lillard, it was like, man, Dame was such an incredible shot maker. But when it comes to that postseason, shit get different. Even with Donovan Mitchell, it comes to the postseason, shit get a little different. And it's when you that small, you just gotta be phenomenal every game.
Now again, if we look at, like, the team construction, right? Like, the problem with, I won't even say the problem, because the Portland Trailblazers and Dame Prime, they got out of that. You just ran into
the wall.
Steph Curry, you ran into another little dude who was better than everybody.
You know what?
And like even with Donovan, like right now, even with Mitch.
Go ahead. Nah, go ahead. You were saying, go ahead.
No, so like even with Mitch, like Mitch, great, but you ran into Brunson. You ran into fucking Brunson. So it's just kind of like I don't really know what.
I fucks with fighting them.
If Fears had the career of a Dame, I think you straight.
Oh, if Fears had the career of Dame, you ecstatic. That's a home run. I think Damian Lillard was the best player in that draft. Honestly, I think you take Dame over AD in that draft if you do it again. But I'll say with Spider, once I saw, to me, you know what team really just exposed the postseason to me? I'm gonna say the Raptors, bro. Their physicality and like big shot ability was just off the fucking charts, bro. And they was just doing it with numbers and rebounding and just toughness and dog. And they was scoring the ball.
Bruising.
They were just brutalizing these dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I think the Knicks would have matched up better. But it's still like, I think if the Raptors were playing the Spurs in the postseason, it would have been a dogfight. That just based on how tough and physical that team is. Not that toughness and physicality, everything
all around. That shit go a long way.
They go a long way.
Talent the Spurs are here because the injury thing that you mentioned was very important. Like, I didn't even think about it when
they got a lot of injury luck. But shit, OKC did too. You know.
Also, Stephon Castle, physical. Like, Fox been out. Harper, physical player.
Physical. Champagne.
Vassell been guarding, physical. Keldon, physical. Like
Carter Bryant, physical.
Carter Bryant. Man, you gonna have to.
They don't got no skinny, scrawny motherfuckers on this team, dog. Like, they just don't. And know what's funny? I think it's funny. I can see Jeremy Sohan becoming a Pelican this offseason. I can see that. Shout out to Jordan in the building. And look, before we pivot to Derik Queen, I wanted to show you a clip of our partner, Joe Dumars. He said something really interesting. Because I think people went way too much in one direction with the hiring of Mosley. I don't think Mosley did himself any favors. emphasizing the defensive part because you just pretty much confirmed what people already thought. But I mean, if it's the truth, it's the truth. People, and ultimately, bro, I think people felt how they was gonna feel no matter what. It was almost nothing he could have said to endear himself to, you know, the fan base and media at that point. But yo, if y'all in the building, make sure.
Not to mention the team he took over was terrible defensively. Like we fucking talked about the offense. Like, no, these motherfuckers don't need to be worried about no offense. They suck defensively.
Yeah, I think they just sucked. This is terrible because their offense was bad too. But I get the point. I'm gonna play this clip, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Appreciate everybody watching.
Look at today's game. What are the components that you believe a team absolutely has to have in order to win a championship?
I think there are shooters, and then I think there are scorers. I think you got to score in this league, whether it be shooting the three or getting into the paint. I think that's you got to keep that scoreboard moving, Steven. You can't get stuck on 80 points and think you're going to get stops and win the game. So you got to figure out a way to keep that scoreboard moving.
And I want to say this before I continue. Not like I mentioned before, I got a cold right now, so I ain't got time to be playing games and being super professional. Stephen A. Smith got the ugliest fucking blazer I've ever seen. That is a tacky ass blazer, Stephen A. That is ugly.
That blazer, man.
That's an ugly fucking blazer, Stephen A. And Stephen A. be shocked. I'm like, what is that? What the fuck is that?
Sometimes you got to bring the sport coat out here. That was one of the old sport coats.
He had a cigar jacket on, but so what? To me, I think what Joe Dumars says. And those comments marry some of the shortcomings of Jamal Mosley, in my opinion, because it's like Jamal, you did everything right defensively, but it got to a point where you guys just couldn't get a bucket. And one thing we're seeing now is like we're seeing big shot making in this postseason, like guys going out and getting fucking buckets. Like dude, like Brunson last night was getting. He didn't even have like an efficient game, but when he was spending time to get a bucket, that motherfucker got a bucket. So what do you think about Joe Dumars' comments there? I think I totally agree with him.
I 1000% agree, and I've been saying this for the longest that, like, for example, there's places for players like Champagne, for example. Like, you do need motherfuckers that can just. Like, I'm a spacer, I can knock down a jumper.
What was he, 5 for like 10 or something like that?
Yeah, he started off 5 for 6 or something that was on 5. Yeah. Like, you need Shamit, that's another one. Shamit, like dog, people that could just knock down jumpers, right? Yeah. Like, you need those players. So, like, when people say you need shooting, not Jordan Hawkins specifically, but you need a player with that type of skill set. Like,
definitely not Jordan Hawkins.
Yeah, no, but like. Yeah. He out there, he could defend, but that motherfucker just hit jumpers. Do, but like the thing with Brunson and my partner, shout out to Mike, bro. Mike hit me up and was like, dog, the one thing about like our team right now, the tough shot making that these dudes are making, we don't have nobody on the team, I think currently, that can like just make some of the buckets that these dudes are making right now. So with that's when you gotta go and get you the guy.
I think Zion hit some. Oh my God, I can't believe it shots.
Yes.
But when the math equation comes in, it's like, no, we gotta hit. We need you to shoot 3 or 2 here and there.
Yes.
Because most of the a lot of Brunson, I think Brunson fell in love too much with the midi last night because he, like, especially early in the game, he was rough. But I think again, you go back to that Lakers game, you go back to some of those games against Phoenix, against Golden State when Zion was hitting middies, they're scoring from pretty much all over the court. He's like, yo, they really just can't stop this dude at all. I think that's one, but that's so few and far in between. Saddiq Bey hit some big shot. Like, well, he's a guy that can score from pretty much anywhere on the court as well. But we don't have a guy that's like, yo, put the ball in his hands, set the screen. He gonna get by the defender. He gonna rise up. He gonna hit a big shot. Dribble handoff. He gonna hit a big shot. Like, we don't have that guy just yet. And people talk about to me, that's the difference between Ja Morant and Zion. Because Ja Morant is not a prolific shooter. Ja Morant is a scorer, though.
I'm going to get the bucket however we need to.
I don't give a fuck. Ja Morant can be over 10. You give him the ball with the game on the line, he gonna hit a fucking pull-up midi over about 4 defenders in this goal. Like he just a bona fide scorer. And I think that's the kind of like partner you need when you're talking about a Zion Williamson led team, or really any team, truthfully. You need a guy that can go get a huge bucket. That's not necessarily right.
This to me, this is the thing you see with like, and I'm using Brunson because this is what was in our minds last night, right? No,
shout out to Brunson.
Brunson can do it so many different kinds of ways to where like the end of the, because at the end of the game, I don't necessarily know how this game is going to dictate like how you have to score this particular game for us to win, right? So like sometimes you saw one of Brunson's big threes was off ball in the corner. He knocked down the corner 3. Then another time he was isolating, took the man, had to spin midi fade, a bump fade like that. If you go back to what he was doing to Harden at the end of that, like in the game 1 during the comeback, it's just,
oh my God,
ISO. I gotta murder this every possession down. The double coming, I know how to pass it, get it back out. Like, so the thing with just being a scorer and not a shooter is some people just have like, I can only score in this way. Like I gotta be set up. You gotta create for me. It's gotta be a catch and shoot. Or I got one. That's kind of
like Anthony Davis or Laurie Markkinen. Like the majority of their shots are assisted buckets. Like you gotta set the table for me, and I'll make it happen. But you gotta set the table. So,
and that's what makes players like Steph, and obviously he's one of the best ever. But that's what makes Steph so incredible. It's like, he can off the ball shoot it. I can play in the ISO and score it. I could pick and roll and score it. I like the Pelicans need a player that when the game is coming down the line is kind of like, and if you notice, that's why with certain teams, like for example, you almost can't even set the defense with certain players. Like either you're gonna double it and get it out their hands, but they can beat you in so many different kinds of ways to where it's kind of like, no, we might just have to let that motherfucker play one-on-one because like with Steph, for example, if you put your best defender on him and you hope, but if you like try to change, he can score so many different kinds of ways to where like, there's no one way to beat that guy. We need somebody that's just versatile enough to do it in any situation.
Yeah, I think just from a team building standpoint, I think what you're also seeing in the postseason is that you can't have guys that are just total non-threats offensively. You just can't have a motherfucker. Like imagine like OG can shoot, Michael can shoot, Josh Hart can shoot a little bit. Cat, we already know Cat can shoot. But imagine Brunson out there with like Jeremy Sohan parked in the corner.
Oh
like
no. You're not getting out the second round with that.
Yeah, player. It's like it just won't happen. Like you gotta have.
You can't get out the second round. You can. I believe if you got those players heavy in your rotation, second round is your cap.
And shout out. I think this is a good question we can answer now, and then we can pivot to our partner DQ, who's at the finals. Says how much of Mosley's offensive issues in Orlando was system versus roster. I think a large portion of it was roster, to be honest. Because
go ahead.
I say that because Franz was awful from behind the arc, though. Like Franz was awful behind the arc. The majority of last season, they had Desmond Bane and a lot of like we just spoke about. He didn't have a lot of catch and shoot opportunities. A lot of his jumpers were dribble pull-ups. He had him having to create offense for himself. Paolo took a little while to really get going. I think you didn't see the best version of that team until the postseason. And that's when Suggs started playing bad. Franz got hurt. He was just coming back from injury, but he still, I think, again, Jonathan Isaac can't shoot, wasn't playing well. Wendell Carter Jr. had his best year last year, but, still, it left a bit to be desired. honestly, I just think that wasn't a very good roster. Neither, like in the period of those 5 years, I think if Franz and Paolo are both healthy, they can will you to postseason success. But I think, look, you went to 2 game 7s against 2 of the best teams in the league at that time. One being the Cavs in your first year, pretty much. Not your first year, but like first playoff.
Cavs was a 1 seed when they.
Yep. 1 seed.
Were they the 1 seed? 1 or 2 seed? One of the 2.
I think they might have been 2 seed.
I think Boston might have been the 1 seed, but 2 seed.
Took them to game 7. You just took Detroit to game 7. Then you should have won that series. I think a lot of it was roster construction, honestly. What say you? What do you think?
After watching again, man, shout out to my partner Mike, who like we do a lot of like the research behind a lot of this stuff too. When you see the style, like when Mosley got hired or was fired, essentially, all you heard throughout the season was how Paolo and Mosley didn't get along and stuff like that, and that was going to lead to Mosley being fired. Well, if you look at the offense that Mosley chooses to run or what he wants to run is different than the style that they was playing. When you look at when Paolo was out for the 10-game stretch and they ran how they wanted to play, it was the number 2 offense. It was the number 2 offense in the league. Yeah, and with the same players. Again,
that's
these
great work by y'all also.
Like they had like a 120 offensive rating. They was averaging like 120 points, 8-2 in that span. And then, Paolo comes back, and then I think Franz ends up going out, so they have to adjust what it is they wanted to do. So I'll say when Mosley coming in, I don't think we had I don't think he had the roster to run what he truly wanted to run. You get what I'm saying? Because I think he actually did a good job of trying to form an offense to fit what they had. Because the 4 years before, they haven't had a shooter the level of Desmond Bane.
Fuck no, nah.
You know what I'm saying?
So not Bane. Yeah.
If we don't even have no shooters, I gotta run offense that's gonna fit the roster. That's first.
Yeah.
So I think with this roster that he has with us, and it's more offensive than defense, I think he's going to coach the defense differently. But I think you're going to see a different. Like I don't think the offense is going to be a bigger issue than as big an issue at least as people are trying to make it, because he'll be able to do what he wants.
You know what's funny? I think Paolo and Tatum have a bit of the same issue. Like, to us, like, y'all are genetic, right? Y'all can get to the rim and just dominate. But
at will.
Right. But you want to just do the spin around middies, what have you. Look, when that motherfucker hitting, it's beautiful basketball. But when you miss, it looks terrible, and everyone wants you to really just go attack the rim. But see, with Zion, you got the inverse issue. It's like all Zion want to do is attack the rim and be a dog. But you may or may not see a level of diversity to his game. We'll see as we go into the season. I've seen some footage of him working on it, but we'll see if it actually becomes some tangible. So, what do you think about Derik in watching this postseason? How a player like Derik Queen fits into the equation, just with postseason basketball, or just generally? Because I don't want to just isolate it to postseason basketball. What are you looking forward to with his internal growth?
I won't lie. Derik had me not nervous, but I just don't know. I won't lie. I don't know.
Why you say
that? Because I know, for example, I know what I want for Derik. Like I need him to become stronger, just generally to become a stronger player, right?
Right.
To be stronger defensively on the boards, be stronger offensively on the boards. If he was able to do that, I would feel a lot better. That's first. Also, his shooting, and I know we talk about the shooting. He's willing to shoot the ball. So what I hope is that he's also working on his jumper to where he's more confident and more consistent with taking it. If he could, if he can do that, I really think he can be a plus player for the team, for the season and moving forward, because those two things alone. Look at like let's take Keldon Johnson for example, right?
Okay.
And it's not to compare.
And that guy's a psychopath after what I saw yesterday. That guy's a psychopath.
What you mean?
That dude should not be in the league acting the way he was acting. But Keldon Johnson got a lot of Dwight Howard in this game. But go ahead. Keldon Johnson was out of his fucking mind. No, what? I apologize to the Aaron Fox. Because how you supposed to play basketball at a productive level when you got a motherfucker tripping like that on the team? But go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Well, so this is what I mean. Just looking at next year, right? I expect Fears and DQ possibly to come off the bench, right? At least to start the season.
Okay.
I don't know for sure about DQ because who knows how Moses
going to play his line but okay.
I don't think. Well, again, it roster moves, but as currently constructed, we'll see. But for example, like Keldon Johnson comes off the bench, he could space, he gets rebounds against second units, putbacks. He could kind of play big inside a little bit, and they still play him sometimes with either Cornette or Wemby. But his advantages come when he can space the floor and shoot the ball a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like I think DQ can do more things than Keldon Johnson can do, obviously. Yeah. But I'm just specifically for his role year, like I could see DQ if he can rebound better. Yeah, then I could see him being like as far as like the growth aspect of it. Like he's just passing and shit and all that is fine. If he can get more consistent at knocking down a jumper, even if it's not through, it's a consistent two, like a consistent mid-range two, and just be strong on the boards on both sides, I think that's a great step for him becoming a great regular season player, a good regular season player, and a good postseason player, and that stabilizes your team. So like that's what I'm looking for from him.
I think with DQ having such good like coordination with his footwork, I think so much of it is just motor versus skill. Like if Derik could go out there and be a guy that go get you 12 rebounds and box out and just keep that, he could. Right, to me, he's an excellent post defender. If he could keep that strength in the post and just rebound and initiate fast breaks and kind of like how I remember Corey Brewer used to he'll get a defensive board and just throw like a motherfucking Hail Mary up the court for an easy bucket. Or even like him and Kevin Love used to do it as a tandem. Sometimes Kevin Love would get the board. Like to me, if I'm the Pelicans, I'm like, Derik, I want you to be a version of Kevin Love.
I thought that before too, to be honest. Like Minnesota K Love.
Yeah, Minnesota push-ups on my knuckles, Kevin Love. The dude was just an animal on the boards. Defensively, he was always meh. Animal on the board to stretch the court. It's funny, they actually like going from Kevin Love to Karl Anthony Towns is a crazy like transition because they were similar types of players. Cat just of course was better, but I think if Derik can find that niche and become more of a, I'm gonna say Kevin Love on the boards and far as like what he does on the court from a shooting standpoint, he's not gonna be as prolific a shooter as Kevin Love, I don't think. But I mean, just being more of a off ball, lower usage type guy. That way, most of his motor is like just attacking the rim for defensive boards, defending in the post. I think that'll keep Derik around for a very long time. Versus, some of the things we've seen. All of that. Yeah, versus some of the things we've seen in ISO. I just think he'd probably be better suited with benefiting off other players.
I also think if DQ was better on the boards, like on both sides, offensive and defensive boards, right? Then him being able to handle the ball, like you could get the board, you could bring it down. Like you got the handle to bring it down yourself. Initiate the break. You'll be like you're passing. You'll get more assists. Like you'll have more opportunities to do the things that you want to. You'll get more putbacks. You know what I mean? Like your stat line. Like if he's a stat-driven guy, right? I'm not saying he is, but like if the motor increased and you just got more rebounds, right? You'll put yourself in position to just put backs, like on the 3, 4, 5 more assists. You know what I'm saying? Which makes you more valuable. And if you can hit the jumper a little bit, like you talking about, it'll be really tough to keep him off the floor if he could do just those things. I was just really watching like 2 of their games though. He just walked so much on the floor. Like even when he get the rebounds and he brings it down, like he waits and then just like trot down. It's like no, dog. Like, and I'm hoping Mosley is coming to fix all of those things, all of those. No, get push the ball, like fix, like mitigate all of that shit.